All right, let's talk about Google Translate for a minute. If you've used it lately, you've probably noticed something. It's gotten good, like scary good. Today we're going to peel back the curtain on how this everyday tool went through this massive, almost invisible transformation, how AI taught it to stop just swapping words and actually start, speaking like a human. But to really get how far we've come, we've got to remember just how hilariously bad it used to be.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? You copy and paste some text, and what you get back is just a complete word salad. Total nonsense. You are hoping for something profound, and you got a verbal train wreck. For years, those clunky, literal translations were the norm. Honestly, they created more funny memes than actual clarity. And the reason they were so bad, it all came down to a basic misunderstanding of what language even is.
And this slide just nails the difference. The old way, on the left, you give it an idiom like it's raining cats and dogs, and it would literally tell you that animals are falling from the sky. No joke. But the new AI-powered way on the right, it gets it. It doesn't just see the words, it understands the idea behind them. So to get how we made that leap from literal to logical, we've got to look at the old engine that was running under the hood. Okay, so let's rewind the clock. Before AI really entered the picture, translation was basically a big game of digital dictionaries and statistical guesswork. I mean, it was clever for its time, don't get me wrong, but it had some major flaws.
The original tech, which launched way back in 2006, was called Statistical Machine Translation, or SMT. And honestly, the best way to describe it is as a giant phrase-matching machine. It wasn't thinking. It wasn't actually understanding language. It was just scanning this enormous library of human-translated texts and making a statistical best guess about which words were most likely to follow other words.
And that's why we got all those hilariously bad translations. SMT was fine if you typed in something simple like, "Where is the library?" But throw a complex sentence at it or an idiom, forget about it. The whole thing just fell apart. You'd get this robotic, clunky text that was often just plain wrong.
And for about a decade, that was pretty much as good as it got. It was useful, sure, but clumsy. But then, 2016 happened. A fundamental shift started happening under the surface, and it led to this massive quantum leap in quality.
And this brings us right to the AI revolution. And listen, this wasn't just some minor software update. No way. This was like ripping the old sputtering engine out of a car and dropping in a futuristic, supercharged one.
Just think about that timeline for a second. For a full decade, from 2006 to 2016, we had that same statistical phrase-matching model. And then, boom! In 2016, Google flips the switch to a completely new system, AI-powered neural machine translation.
So what the heck is neural machine translation, or NMT? Well, unlike the old system that looked at words in little chunks, NMT is an AI that analyzes the entire sentence all at once. It's designed to understand grammar, the overall structure, and, this is the most important part, the context, all to create a translation that actually sounds like something a real person would say.
And for those of you who are curious about what's really going on under the hood, the magic here comes from deep learning models. Specifically, a groundbreaking model called the transformer architecture. This is actually the same family of tech that powers a lot of the really advanced AI you hear about today, and it's what gave Google Translate its brand new brain. And this right here gets to the absolute core of the story. This is the big aha moment. The shift from just translating individual words to actually understanding the overall meaning. This quote really says it all. The AI stopped acting like a simple dictionary, just swapping an English word for a Spanish one. Now it reads the whole sentence, it figures out the speaker's intent, and then it builds a brand new sentence in the other language that captures the same exact idea.
So here's a simple way to think about it. First, the AI model takes in the whole sentence, looking at how all the words work together. Second, it tries to figure out the underlying meaning. Is this a joke? Is it a serious question, an idiom? And finally, it builds a totally new sentence from scratch that sounds fluid and natural and carries that original meaning.
So all that technical stuff is really cool, but the most incredible part is how this powerful AI actually shows up in our day-to-day lives, basically turning our phones into universal translators straight out of science fiction.
I mean, these features are just wild. You can point your phone's camera at a menu in another country and the words just change to English right there on your screen. Or you can use the microphone to have a live back-and-forth conversation with someone with the AI translating for both of you in almost real time. It's amazing.
Let's just pause and really think about that for a second. The Paris Cafe scenario. You're just having a normal conversation, and your phone is acting like this seamless, invisible interpreter right in your pocket. It is quietly tearing down a communication barrier that has separated people for thousands of years.
And that's really the punchline here. This isn't some concept for the future. It's a tool that's available to literally billions of people right now. It's just a powerful, practical example of AI quietly working its magic in the background of our lives.
But here's the really cool part. The system is never finished. It's constantly learning. Every single day, it processes millions of translations and actually learns from user corrections. That means it's always getting better. It adapts to new slang like spill the tea, and it gets more tuned in to cultural nuances. It literally gets smarter every single time we use it.
So what does this all add up to? What's the bigger picture when a tool this powerful becomes this accessible to everyone? Well, it points toward a future of truly global communication. This kind of technology is so much more than just a travel convenience. It's a genuine bridge between cultures. It's helping students learn, helping immigrants find their way in a new home, and it's allowing small businesses to talk to customers anywhere on Earth. And of course, it's letting families and friends connect on a much deeper level, no matter what language they speak.
Now look, is it perfect? No, of course not. Not yet. Nuance and subtlety can still get lost sometimes. But the direction we're heading is undeniable. We are getting closer and closer to a world where language is way less of a barrier to understanding each other than it's ever been in human history.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. What really changes in our world, in our politics, our art, our relationships, when language stops being a barrier? What new ideas and collaborations suddenly become possible? That's the world this technology is helping to build, one conversation at a time. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.